Hello everyone, and welcome to the Pisces Guide to Pop Culture. I'm of course your host TJ. Today reviewing Go Easy on Me by Bradley James, who I will admit is a personal friend of mine. We met at a writing event or a book fair a couple of months ago, and I've just adored him ever since. So of course I've been reading his debut. I'm always a proud supporter of fellow indie queer authors, particularly those who write romance. So this book focuses on Theo, who has been contending with his father's sort of illness. His father was injured in a motorcycle accident, and Theo is, along with his mother and sister, in charge of taking care of him, making sure that he's kept, just going, really, since he's suffered significant cognitive impairment. Into all of this comes Randall, who is a military man, and Javier, who is a music tutor, and those, have this sort of informal love triangle with all sorts of, intricacies that go on. Now, as we know, I love romance that kind of grapples with things beyond just the feelings of it all. I think that's obviously the feelings are important, but I think that romance as a genre is really kind of primed and has a very important role to play in helping us to to cope with real world problems, particularly when those come to issues like grief, issues like, caring for a loved one who is incapacitated, and of course with, just the love of it all and loving oneself. And I think that that's a really important thematic that runs through this whole book. And I think that James is very skilled at, evoking all these different emotional registers that allow us to see how complicated life can be, particularly for those of us who are, or for those who might be, taking care of an injured or ailing loved one. And Theo makes for a really good hero. I think that he is just a really captivating presence. And since James uses like the first person present tense, that gives us a real immediacy, that we're really immersed in Theo's perspective, that we are with him as he grapples with the mental and physical, aspects of love, but also of, sadness, of grief, of all the stuff that goes into sort of the complications of daily life. And I really love romance novels that, that maybe sometimes defy genre conventions. I think this novel sort of straddles different genres, and I think that's one of its strengths. And I think that it really is a deeply human novel that really kind of allows us to feel, to work through, to, have a catharsis when it comes to our own complicated emotional lives. And so in that respect, I'm really glad that I read it. I'm glad that I met Bradley. I think he's a really terrific author. I'm really proud to support, authors who are grappling with some pretty tricky emotional territory, but doing it with a lot of grace and a lot of love and a lot of compassion and empathy. And those are all really important things, both in romance, but also just in life. So if you haven't yet, do pick up Go Easy on Me by Bradley James. I love this cover, by the way. It does get the coveted Pisces Guide to Pop Culture seal of approval. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me. Take care, y'all.